What is up, AGZ gang? Yes sir, yes sir. Now before we actually get into the video, I just want to quickly say hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, because why haven't you hit the subscribe button? Look, Phoeyu is subscribed, but you can't subscribe. Anyways, hit that subscribe button. Now I do want to explain what I mean in the title, because y'all boys are probably looking at this video and saying, what is this guy talking about? What does he mean? Why is Agz always talking? Like, why is he always talking? And I'm gonna explain to you why I'm talking. Firstly, I want to explain to y'all boys what Mink is, because you might not know what Mink is. So minks come in different races. Obviously, you got the cat ears, you got the tiger, you got the bunny, you got the bear, you got the dog, and the best one you got is the bunny. The best one's the bunny. So all the other variants don't matter, because the bunny is the only cool one. Also, if you don't know, it gives bonus stun passive. You get 5% more stamina, and you have a 5% stamina regen rate increase. Same thing. And it gives a stun bonus passive. Now I've never really noticed if the stun bonus passive is really effective or not. I'm genuinely not even too sure. I do know it gives the electro passive on the golden staff, but who the hell uses golden staff anymore? Except for winter clouds in the but who the hell uses golden staff anymore? So those are his like base buffs. Those are the most important things that it gives. So in update 1/0, Mink was probably at his best state that has ever been at, like ever, and I genuinely don't think it can come back from those. The reason I feel like it was is because in update 0/update 1, players didn't have a lot of SP to play with, probably around 250, 350. With the small amount of SP that we had to use, Mink's having that 5% stamina increase and 5% stamina regen was crucial, and I kid you not, crucial. PvP, PvE, boss battles, wars, it doesn't matter what you were doing, having that extra stamina was crucial. Now players would make a lot of videos with best stat page, etc, this and that, and those videos did really well back in the day, mainly because stamina was a huge thing. So players that had Mink would always find the best way to utilize their points, because they know they had extra points to play with, and players that didn't have Mink needed a way to compensate for not having that stamina, because stamina was huge. Regardless of what you may think, stamina was huge. And because we didn't have a lot of SP to play with, that M1 damage wasn't that high. You couldn't Gepo spam, you couldn't ability spam. You needed to have a fair balance in your stat page, or sometimes you had to sacrifice something, whether it be health, stamina, or your damage. So it was really hard to find the perfect balance, and Mink made up for that. If you had Mink back then, you didn't really have to sacrifice anything at all. Now during update, let's say 2 to 3, Minks had the option of, they had a little bit more versatility than everyone else. Now if you had Mink, there was 2 options that you used to use back then. It was either the 0 stamina option or the 99 stamina option. Obviously people did other things, but meta players usually went 0 stam or 99 stam. Now what 99 stam did, 99 stamina and 100 stamina is literally no difference, but what 99 stamina did, at least for back then, is it gave you a 13 tick regenerate depending on the drops you had on, and it would give you a decent amount of stamina, so that way you could actually manage your stamina consumption. And even if you did run out of stamina in a fight, your regen rate was really good, so you didn't have to wait a long time to get your stamina back. Essentially you could wipe the floors of anyone that didn't have Mink. If you did the 0 stamina option, it usually meant you were going a glass cannon type build. Glass cannon meaning that you were dealing a high amount of damage, to the point where you didn't really need a lot of stamina, because your main focus would have been your weapon. And as you all know, weapons don't really take up a lot of stamina. You're relying on your M1 damage. The 0 stamina option was really powerful, but usually you'd be sacrificing your health and your stamina. A lot of players did use the fact that they didn't put points inside of their stamina to compensate with health. You could really go tanky. You could do a tank boy build. I used to call myself a tank boy because I'll usually not put points inside of stamina and put my point in health, and that way I was really tanky. Like you would deal you wouldn't deal like a crazy amount of damage, but you had enough health to sustain anything coming at you, and you had enough damage to actually completely wipe the floors with anyone that was going up against you. Now during the same time frame, and you could probably count update 1 with it, Mink electro fighting style was really huge. Now to the point where you could infinite combo with it. Mink fighting style was going crazy. It was really annoying. Like there was genuinely very little counterplay to electro fighting style back in the day, but like you couldn't GPO when you had the Mink fighting style, so I guess it was balanced in a sense, but it wasn't balanced as well because you had moves that would leap you into the air if anything. But Mink fighting style was really good back then as well, to add on to the fact that Mink was actually very OP back in the day. Whereas now during update 4, I'm not saying Mink is useless. Mink is still good. You still have the 5% stamina increase and the stun bonus, which is obviously good. It's better than having nothing. But now that players have over 1,000 stat points to play with, they're compensated for what they didn't have back in the day now. So players aren't punished as much for not having that stamina increase. Races like Fisherman kind of overshadow Mink because there's a lot of very powerful Fisherman combos, especially with Hiei and Phoenix. The Fisherman combos with those fruits in specific really go crazy, whereas the Mink fighting style doesn't really do that. You can't really pair it with anything. It's not that useful in PvP. So by the time update 5 hits, we'll probably have like 1,800, almost 2,000 stat points. What is 5% if you can play with 2,000 stat points? It genuinely makes no difference. Now I'm not too sure about the bonus stun passive. I'm not 100% sure on how useful that is because I don't even remember. I really don't see it. I don't see it. Probably is useful, but then again I wouldn't know. The races that are gonna take over is Cyborg and Fisherman, and if they add any other. Now I'm not gonna lie, if we got Sulong form, Mink would go up there, but there was actually a vote held a couple months ago to what fighting style we're gonna get, and Sulong form did not win. Dragon Claw won. So whenever we get Dragon Claw, we get it, but Sulong form isn't coming anytime soon. So in my opinion, Mink's value is just gonna decrease and decrease as time goes on. But yeah, it's still 5% and people still want it, so it is what it is.